Hello, and welcome back. Today we're diving into a chilling tale that will pull you in and keep you on the edge of your seat. Picture this. It's 2012, and we're traveling back in time to a peaceful little town rocked by a horrifying tragedy. A vibrant, beautiful young girl vanishes without a trace, leaving behind a trail of questions, heartbreak, and a mystery that refuses to let go. What really happened? Stick with me as we peel back the layers of this haunting case, step by step, to uncover the shocking truth. Our story begins in Morgantown, a city nestled in West Virginia, USA. The Monongahela River winds through it, painting a stunning natural backdrop that makes this place a perfect getaway spot. Morgantown is best known for West Virginia University, a hub of energy and life. Just near the university lies a small town called Star City. With a modest size and a calm, laid-back vibe, Star City feels like the ideal place to settle down. In 2012, its population hovered around 1,800, a tight-knit community where everyone knows each other, fostering a sense of absolute safety. And it's right here, in this tranquil little town, where our story unfolds. Meet Skylar, the heart of today's tale. She's a 16-year-old high school student, full of life, kindness, and a fierce sense of responsibility. Skylar dreams of becoming a lawyer, driven by a passion to bring justice to those who need it most. She's a straight student, part of the honors class, and adored by her teachers. Born on February 10th, 1996, Skylar grows up in an ordinary Star City family. Her dad, David, works packing shoes at a local warehouse, while her mom, Mary, is an administrative assistant at a medical lab. As an only child, Skylar is their treasure, their joy, their hope, their everything. From a young age, Skylar is sweet and well-behaved. At 8, she meets the most important person in her life, Celia, who goes by Eddie. Eddie, also 8 at the time, becomes her instant best friend. From that moment, they're inseparable, sharing secrets, laughing together, and spending every chance they get hanging out. Eddie's parents are divorced, and her home life is tough, so Skylar's parents take her under their wing. They invite Eddie over for meals and fun, treating her with warmth and care, almost like a second daughter, though they never say it outright. The only downside? The girls attend different schools until high school, when Eddie's mom remarries, and Eddie transfers to Skylar's school. From then on, they're like two peas in a pod, always together, except in class, closer than sisters, making everyone around them a little jealous. But that perfect friendship shifts in 10th grade when a new girl steps into the picture, Rachel Schoaf. Rachel, the same age as Skylar and Eddie, hits it off with them fast. Maybe because they're all only children, or maybe they just click. The duo becomes a trio, and soon, the three girls are everywhere together. School, coffee shops, weekend hangouts. To their friends and classmates, they're more than just pals, they're like family. The girls themselves are thrilled, convinced they've found lifelong friends. They're obsessed with Lil Wayne, especially Eddie, who posts on Twitter daily, little thoughts, random updates, feeling empty if she doesn't. Their social media overflows with photos of their adventures, proof of a bond that seems unbreakable. By 11th grade, Skylar doubles down on her studies, swearing off dating to chase her dreams. Eddie and Rachel, though, start seeing boyfriends. Still, the trio's connection doesn't waver. They're as tight as ever. Even when they're apart, they keep in touch through texts. Each other's presence becomes a habit, a comfort in their lives. But all that sweetness shatters in July 2012 when a nightmare unfolds, turning their world upside down. Summer break arrives, a time most kids crave. Some head off on vacation, but Skylar opts for a part-time job at a fast food joint near home. On July 5th, she works until 10 p.m., comes home, showers, chats with her parents, and heads to her room as usual. David and Mary have no idea it's the last time they'll see her. The next morning, they leave for work. Around noon, David swings by to grab the car for Skylar's shift, but something's off. Her door's still shut. He knocks. No answer. That's weird. Skylar's a light sleeper. She'd hear him. Worried, David peeks through her window and freezes. She's not there. The window's open, The screen's off, and a chair sits outside against the wall. Clearly, Skylar climbed out. But why not use the front door? It's daylight, and she's alone. No reason to sneak like that. David figures maybe she slipped out to see friends the night before. A typical 16-year-old move. She's done it before. But it's past noon now. She should be back. Her phone charger, toothbrush, and personal stuff are still in her room. She didn't plan to be gone long. He calls her. Straight to voicemail. Panic creeps in. Minutes tick by, and Skylar's still missing. David calls Eddie, her best friend, but Eddie says Skylar didn't come by, and she has no clue where she is. More calls, no leads. By 4 p.m., David's frantic and gets Mary home. Skylar's shift starts at 4, and she's never late. She's too responsible. Then the fast food manager calls. Where's Skylar? She didn't show up or call in. That's when it hits them. Something's terribly wrong. Right then, Eddie calls with a bombshell. She admits that last night, around 11 p.m., she and Rachel picked Skylar up for a quick drive around Morgantown. They were back in under an hour. To avoid waking Skylar's parents with the car, Skylar had them drop her at the end of the street, saying she'd walk home. After that, Eddie doesn't know what happened. David and Mary trust Eddie. She's been like family since she was 8. So they suspect someone grabbed Skylar on that short walk home. Nearly a day's passed. This is urgent. David calls the police. Cops swarm in, and the search begins. David and Mary rally relatives, friends, even Skylar's teachers. Eddie brings her mom to comfort them and joins the hunt. They scour the neighborhood, but no one's seen Skylar since the night before. She's vanished. No trace, no clues. In their desperation, David and Mary remember a nearby apartment building recently installed security cameras. If Skylar left, it'd catch her. The police check the footage and find something. At 12:30 a.m. on July 6th, Skylar, wearing a small bag, hops into a light-colored car waiting outside. Then it drives off into the night. The video's too blurry to ID the driver, license plate, or even the car's make. But it proves one thing. Skylar left willingly, not forced. Still, a question looms. Eddie said they dropped Skylar off at 11 p.m., but the camera shows her leaving at 12:30 a.m. Either Eddie's lying, or something shady's being hidden. Maybe Skylar came home, then left again with someone else. Everyone trusts Eddie, so they lean toward the latter. Either way, the police have a lead. They think Skylar, at 16 and rebellious, might have run off. Nothing too serious. David and Mary insist she's not that kind of kid, but the cops brush it off. They don't activate an Amber Alert, a nationwide emergency system for missing or abducted kids, because Skylar's case doesn't meet the strict criteria, like clear evidence of abduction or imminent danger. With no help from police, David and Mary take matters into their own hands. They enlist friends, print flyers, and offer a $3,100 reward for info. Eddie and her mom pitch in, plastering flyers across Star City streets and alleys. It's a small town, 1,800 people, so they cover it fast. Still nothing. By July 9th, over 48 hours since Skylar vanished, the police finally take it seriously. Jessica, the lead detective, starts digging deeper. If Skylar ran off, she'd post online, use her phone, or withdraw cash, but she hasn't. Either she's being held, or she's dead. Star City's been searched top to bottom, so they expand to all of West Virginia. No luck. Seeing the internet's power, David and Mary post about Skylar on Facebook, Twitter, everywhere, begging for help. David even goes on local TV, pleading for leads. The massive effort yields tips, sightings in New York, Los Angeles, California. All dead ends, mistaken identities. They find another runaway teen and reunite her with her family. But Skylar? Still gone. David and Mary are drowning in grief, crying day and night. Eddie keeps visiting, consoling them, sharing their pain. By late August, school's back, and Skylar's been missing over a month. Her disappearance dominates talk at school. Where is she? Did she leave the country? Then whispers turn darker. Maybe she's dead, overdosed. Soon, the chatter shifts to Rachel and Eddie, her inseparable besties. They were always together. Surely they know something. Gossip explodes online, wild theories pointing fingers at the duo. Cops and private investigators jump in, scouring their social media. They find clues. Before vanishing, Skylar tweeted, "It doesn't take much to annoy me. I'm so sick of being stuck at home all the time. Thanks, guys, I want to hang out too. How can I trust you if you keep doing this?" Clearly, she was upset, maybe with Eddie and Rachel. Eddie's posts raised flags too. On November 5th, when someone online accused her and Rachel of being suspects, she snapped back, "Nothing out there can touch me or Rachel. If you think you can, you're wrong." It's vague but telling. Suspicion snowballs. People online brand them killers, some sending private curses, demanding confessions. On September 3rd, police search their homes, seizing their phones. By September 10th, the case blows up online, and the FBI joins in. They zero in on Eddie and Rachel. Last to see Skylar, closest to her, and classmates swear they're hiding something. Their stories match perfectly. Picked Skylar up after 11 p.m., drove around Morgantown, dropped her off in under an hour. Skylar walked home. They left. That's it. The FBI grills classmates. Same vibe. Rachel and Eddie know more. But no cracks. The case stalls. Jessica reworks it from scratch, assuming they're guilty. If so, that car on camera is theirs. She digs and finds Eddie's mom owns a silver Chevrolet, matching the footage. Checking more cameras west of Star City, Jessica disproves their eastbound Morgantown claim. At dawn on July 6th, that Chevy headed west. Phone records show Rachel's signal pinged in Blacksville, 17 miles from Star City, that morning. Plus, Rachel's odd behavior, vacationing with her mom post-disappearance, dodging in-person talks, screams red flags. The case flips. The trusted duo might be liars. David and Mary can't believe it. Eddie and Rachel helped search, comforted them, cried over Skylar. Eddie even sobbed on Skylar's bed. When cops questioned Eddie, David defended her. But in November, Rachel cracks, admitting they drove to Blacksville that night. Skylar got out, and they don't know where she went. Eddie soon echoes her, their stories aligning too neatly. Cops smell a setup. Phones and devices get seized again. Tension chokes Star City. Everyone thinks they're guilty. Schoolmates glare. Online hate intensifies. Eddie keeps tweeting casually, unfazed. Rachel, though, unravels, nervous, short-tempered. On December 28th, Rachel snaps, has a breakdown at home. Her mom calls the cops. After treatment, with a lawyer, Rachel confesses, "We stabbed her." She spills it all. It wasn't random. They planned it for months. Clean clothes, gloves, tools in Eddie's suitcase, a shovel from Rachel's dad, 2 knives from Eddie's place. At 12:30 a.m., they lured Skylar out her window into the Chevy. Cameras caught her climbing in. They drove west to a forest near Blacksville. There, under a big tree by the river, they smoked weed. As Skylar turned to grab a lighter, Eddie counted 1, 2, 3. They pulled knives from their jackets and stabbed her over 50 times. Skylar fought, begged why, as she died. They tried digging a grave, but the ground was too hard, so they covered her with branches and dirt, swapped bloody clothes for clean ones, and drove back, ditching evidence along the way. The cops stunned. 2 16-year-olds this brutal? He asks why. Rachel shrugs. "We just didn't like her anymore. No other reason." She leads them to the body, but snow buries the forest. They can't find it. With no corpse, weapons, or solid proof. Plus Rachel's past lies and shaky mental state, cops hold off arresting her. They keep her confession quiet, rigging her with a wire to trap Eddie. But Eddie's too sharp. No slip-ups. On January 4th, 2013, police search Eddie's home, grabbing the Chevy and every knife. On January 16th, they find a body near a big tree in that forest, technically in Pennsylvania. By March 13th, dental records confirmed Skylar. At a press conference, they update the case. Eddie still denies it, crying on TV, tweeting grief, until April 9th when she posts, "We counted 1, 2, 3, and did it." By late April, blood traces in Eddie's suitcase and car match Skylar's DNA. With Rachel's testimony, phone pings, and posts, they've got enough. On May 1st, Rachel turns herself in, pleading guilty to second-degree murder. That night, Cops arrest Eddie at dinner with her mom. "Mom, it'll be okay, right?" she asks innocently as they cuff her. On September 16th, a grand jury indicts Eddie for first-degree murder, kidnapping, and conspiracy. Though underage during the crime, West Virginia tries her as an adult. She denies everything, cool, detached, until January 28th, 2014, when, on lawyers' advice, she pleads guilty to first-degree murder. She gets life, but a 2012 Supreme Court ruling grants parole eligibility after 15 years since she was a minor. On February 26th, Rachel's trial wraps. Her remorse earns her 30 years, parole possible after 10. The case closes, but why remains murky. "We didn't like her" doesn't cut it. Eddie's cold at trial. No apologies, fixing her hair, smiling. Rachel sobs, begs forgiveness. David and Mary call it fake, unforgivable. Prosecutors marvel at their cruelty, months of planning, targeting their best friend, then lying without remorse. Skylar's murder shakes West Virginia. Early police in action. No Amber Alert. Sparks outrage. Though her voluntary exit didn't qualify. It highlights Amber's limits. Great for abductions, weak for unclear cases, missing golden hours. David and Mary channel their pain into Skylar's law, expanding West Virginia's Amber system to all endangered missing kids. Passed in March 2013, it's a small comfort. They turn her burial site into a memorial garden, visiting when grief overwhelms them. Friends and strangers leave flowers, honoring her. The case scars the community. Trust and friendship erodes. Kids admit they can't trust anyone anymore. 10 years later, in 2023, Rachel's first parole hearing flops. 30,000 signatures demand she stay locked up. In 2024, she tries again, touting good behavior, a degree, and esthetician license. Parole denies her in 10 minutes. Her prison record spotty. Her next shot's June 2025. Eddie's is May 2028. In prison, Rachel slowly reveals more. She and Eddie grew closer, romantically, sidelining Skylar. On July 4th, 2012, they ditched her. Skylar's tweet hinted at hurt. Her diary notes Rachel and Eddie's intimacy after a sleepover. She threatened to expose them. Rachel says they killed her to silence her. David and Mary doubt it, but it's the closest to truth they'll get. Skylar was simple. Eddie wild, reckless posts, bad vibes. Classmates feared she'd corrupt Skylar. A video 6 months prior shows Eddie asking how they die. Skylar once told a friend she wouldn't care if Eddie died. To them, Skylar became a threat worth killing. Why this hate among teen girls? Other solutions existed. Why murder? Education's key here. Teens need more than grades. Personality, a healthy worldview matter most. Without them, crime festers. We must manage emotions, resolve conflicts peacefully, and value life, ours and others. Don't let jealousy or selfishness blind us. Build trust-based relationships. Lean on family and school for support. That's the lesson for youth and all of us. From a criminal psychology perspective, this case screams warning signs. Eddie's impulsivity and lack of remorse suggest sociopathic traits, charming yet ruthless. Rachel's breakdown and cooperation hint at guilt, but her initial planning shows cold calculation. Their motive, silencing a perceived threat, reflects immature reasoning warped by obsession and fear of exposure. Teens' underdeveloped impulse control, paired with poor guidance, brewed this tragedy. It's a stark reminder. Unchecked emotions and weak moral grounding can turn friends into killers. Early intervention, psychological, familial, might have stopped this. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.